What's going on, my trainer club? Today we are going to check out the top tips to max out on Tepig, COMM Day, and Pokemon Go. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, how do you guys feel about Tepig COMM Day? Are you excited? Are you not excited? Are you more excited for GoFest 2021? There's some awesome bonuses going on during this event time as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're gonna break down all the details. Then we're gonna have everything that we have to do because we have to kind of coincide the prepping of this and GoFest 2021, because after the COMM Day here, we will have 14 days after this event, so I want to make sure that you guys do not bleed over into some of the resources that you're going to go need there. So this event is going to go from Saturday, July 3rd at 11 a.m. all the way until 5 p.m. for a grand total of 6 hours. And the bonuses are going to include, we have 3 times catch Stardust, which is going to be a massive bonus for 6 hours, guys. It is definitely something that you want to get after. We're gonna have 3-hour incenses, 3-hour lure modules, and obviously increased spawn, so Tepig is gonna be absolutely everywhere. Emboar is going to get an evolution into it with the moveset of Blast Burn. You cannot regular TM it. You're gonna have to elite TM it, and obviously it does take a couple days afterwards. And for me, I don't even have an Emboar yet. I haven't even evolved one, so I'm excited for this day to get myself one. Hopefully during the day, I will get at least one 100% IV as well. There will be a $1 storyline that you can purchase. I will be purchasing it. It's only $1, and it is pretty lucrative, about 15,000 Stardust and a couple of bonus items as well that usually pay out way more than just $1. So that's definitely something I'm gonna do, and obviously we are going to come out with that complete line as well as we get closer to the date when it is available to us. You will be able to take photo bombs to get photo bomb by Tepig. That can be a shiny. And then finally, there's gonna be a box purchase for the COMM Day as well. It is gonna be 1,280 coins. It's gonna come with 50 Ultra Balls, which is a benefit to us. We are going to be able to get 5 star pieces, 5 incenses, and an elite charge TM. So with all that said, guys, let's start getting after it. Obviously, we do have the shiny. It looks amazing, but most importantly, on to tip number 1. Tip number 1 is going to be focused around all of the items that we're going to need for the event to make sure you guys are ready and prepped. And so here is going to be the differential making. I usually say to stock up on Ultra Balls. While I will continue to recommend that you guys do stock up on Ultra Balls for GoFest, I do not suggest that you use your Ultra Balls during Tepig COMM Day. I want you to have as many Ultra Balls as possible for the GoFest. So that means you're going to have to use regular red balls and you're going to have to use great balls in order for you to not use up your Ultra Ball replenishes and your stockpile. So you want to keep those siphoned away. This is the COMM Day where I'm saying do not use the Ultra Balls for this scenario. So as far as great balls go, obviously Ultra Balls, I said for GoFest, I'm going in, my goal is 1,500. I want to have 1,500 Ultra Balls for the entire day, day 1, and then I'm obviously going to keep using those. And as I keep using those, on day 2, since there's a lot more raiding, I'm gonna need a lot more of the red Pokeballs. So when I do have the red Pokeballs, I can do that then. So for this day, we wanna have great balls and red balls. Obviously the great balls are gonna be the higher CP ones that you're gonna focus with, and the lower CP ones, fortunately on COMM Day, they do make the starters a whole lot easier to catch. So for here, I'm going to say 750 great ball Pokeball combination would be optimal. Really think that would be the best serve for you guys, especially because of the Stardust. And Stardust is gonna be a massive key because it is 3 times catch Stardust. So as far as the premium items go, obviously you're gonna need a couple incubators because I always suggest that you guys save up on 12 kilometer eggs, especially because you're gonna be on star pieces the whole time. The star pieces, you're gonna need 12 as well. 12 star pieces to go for the entire day to make sure that you can get the most amount of 3 times catch Stardust, which is gonna be the most beneficial. Guys, it is definitely worth it to grind as hard as possible. Micro focus your attention onto these events to max out in Pokemon Go to make your Stardust benchmarks increase. And then I would suggest focusing on some pineapple berries. Obviously you want to save some pineapple berries towards GoFest too, because we have Dino that's going to be spawning, probably not too common, but Dino's a rare Pokemon as well. So the pineapple berries are really going to be for, I would say probably like 250, 300 that you would use on this day if you have that capability. And guys, remember, if you don't have as much max bag space as some of the other players out there or myself, what you do want to do is take the number that I'm saying and divide it by 3,000, and then that's going to be what you guys do use. And not only that, don't just use this day as a day to clean out your bag, but you want to use this day as a jump start for Pokemon Go Fest. Start cleaning out your bag. Trade away any rare Pokemon that you do have that you need the XL candy for over 100 kilometers. Get those bags ready. My goal for Go Fest is to have at least 40 to 50% of my bag completely cleared out. If you have a much smaller bag, you're gonna have to start making some hard choices, guys. Get rid of the Pokemon that don't have future megas. Get rid of the Pokemon that you have way too many shiny ofs, or everybody has shinies of, and they're not that valuable anymore, such as maybe something like a Fletchling. You don't need 20 shinies from COMM Day anymore. Focus on all those questions. If you wanna see the complete guide to transfer Pokemon, you wanna check it out up here. Don't hold on to emotional stuff and be ready to max out, but most importantly, save your Ultra Balls, and additionally, I'm gonna suggest that you guys do come in here with at least 50 golden raspberries, because now that we are gonna be using Great Balls, I wanna make sure you give the golden raspberries to the shinies to catch those, which is very important. So, with all that said, now let's get it to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is gonna be as we get closer to the event time. So guys, where are you gonna play? Be in a really densely spawned area. You wanna have the most amount of things. As always, what I do tell you guys to play in is some type of circular pattern with a lot of dense spawns and a lot of Pokestops. Not only do you get balls back, not only do you have the ability to get the research tasks, but you also have the ability of the natural spawns to respawn, as opposed to doing something in a straight line where you're gonna go down, hit all the spawns, and on the way back, you're not gonna have the recent spawns, you're only gonna have lure module spawns, which is gonna be slightly problematic. And then what type of lure modules would you guys go after? If it was me, obviously the premium ones are gonna be spawning faster, but that does also factor into play how big of a circular pattern you guys are walking. If you're walking a really big one, I don't think the premium lure modules are worth it. But if you're walking in a smaller condensed one and you're hitting those stops quite often, the premium ones are worth it. Because if it's a big one, the non-premium regular lure modules will turn through Pokemon slower, which is a benefit to you because you're not wasting all of those premium spawns, because you're waiting longer to get around that entire circle. But if you're sitting in maybe like a very densely close loop, you don't have that access to be in something big, that's something that you guys are gonna have to take into account and see what is gonna be the best case scenario for you guys. So premium, if you do use one, magnetic lures are gonna be the best option because of the residential spawns that you're getting from those. So with all that said, guys, it's now time for tip number 3. Tip number 3 is gonna be focused around right up to the start of the event. So guys, 30 minutes before the event starts, do not catch any Pokemon. Remember, all of those spawns will change into Tepig spawns, which can then be shiny Tepigs, and they're gonna be 3 times catch Stardust once the event changes over, so that's gonna be really important. Number 1. Number 2, after midnight on Friday, do not complete any research in any of the stops, in any of the area that you're gonna be playing, because if you do, once that event starts, those research for Tepig Day, which you're gonna be getting Ultra Balls, Great Balls, Tepig encounters, and other things, probably Tepig, I think candy and pineapple berries, you're not gonna be able to get that as well, because once you complete a stop, it is done for the day. Once the COMM Day starts, it does not recycle. Not only that, I know it is not going to be an XP boosted event, but I always suggest that you guys do hit XP bonuses on COMM Days, especially if there are people that don't play so hard or so often and you have been saving it up. Combining them all into a 30-minute window on an egg is very, very useful. So, with all that said, guys, now let's get into tip number 4. Tip number 4 is going to be focusing around during the event space. So for Tepig, coming from task level, 100% IV is gonna be 464. Tepig is going to be boosted in sunny weather. From eggs or regular raids, if it is gonna be in raids, it's gonna be 618. From weather boosted raids, it is going to be 773. And if it is not gonna be sunny weather, the 100% IV at level 30 is gonna be 928. But if it does get boosted sunny weather wherever you are at, that 928 is not going to be the 100% IV guaranteed anymore. The 100% IV is going to be 1005 at level 35. And now that we have the 100% IVs, what is gonna be the PvP IV? So unfortunately, Emboar in the Great League is gonna be ranked 491 even with Blast Burn, and then in the Ultra League it's going to be ranked 327. But if you guys do want to save onto one of those Pokemon, I will give you the IVs anyway. For the Great League, it's going to be a 0-14-9 for the 100% IV. It's going to be a 0-15-14 for the Ultra League, and then for the Master League, it's going to be ranked best, but it's still pretty far up there. It's going to be ranked 197 with the Blast Burn as well. So unfortunately, it doesn't really prevail too much, but if you do want to get the IVs for that particular Pokemon, you can have it. But unfortunately, there are a lot better ranked fire type attackers in both of those leagues, actually all 3 of those leagues in general. Not only that, as soon as the event starts, you want to put on all of your 12-kilometer eggs and hatch them. You want to up front put on all 12 of your star pieces, especially if you're going to play for the total 6 hours, which is very beneficial. And then finally, guys, do remember that if you do want to put on incenses that last for a span of 24 hours, but there's not really going to be any type of events going on. So if you guys do want boosted incenses, it does come out to way more in your benefit, because 3 hours you can stack it for 24 hours and you can have them running afterwards into the next day, have your gacha on and catching Pokemon. And then finally, let's not forget that the tasks that I have been recommending to stack up on, the second tier evolution Pokemon, you do need to catch them on the star pieces, because that's going to get you a whole lot more Stardust. And that task has been trade a Pokemon, which has been a Graveler encounter. That's the second evolve one. The second evolves, and obviously the third evolves, optimally speaking, but there hasn't been a third evolve in a task in quite a long time. But if you're like me, I did save up on my Ho-Oh research, and I do plan on completing it during this day, because then I can catch other Pokemon that have been here, such as the Jolteon and other second tier evolution Pokemon as well. So with all that said, guys, now let's get into my tip number 5. Tip number 5 is going to be the finalization of this event. So guys, trading. If you want to save any of these Pokemon, if you didn't get 296 XL candy, I always suggest that we try to get as much XL candy on these days as possible. So as far as the meta raid attackers, this is its best placing that it does serve. So it is behind Reshiram, obviously it's behind the Megas, it's behind the Shadows, then we have Reshiram, then we have a few other Pokemon such as Blaziken, but it sits in the 5th overall spot. Until Volcarona comes out, then it will be in the 6th spot. It's going to be Reshiram, Darmanitan, Blaziken, Chandelure, then it's going to be Emboar, which actually beats out Moltres as well. So it is actually pretty powerful with the Blast Burn as far as a regular type meta raid attacker. So it is a pretty budget type counter to power up for a fire type attacker externally of Shadows and Megas. Obviously Megas you can only have one. Obviously Shadows were slightly limited and they're more expensive to power up. And this one you could easily get a lucky one, and you will have the XL candy to boost it relatively easy all the way to level 50. So that's going to be the best use of Emboar in Pokemon Go. So with all that said, guys, thank you for being here as always to all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes their support, subscription, and participation to the next level. I'm gonna see you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.